Eve, the queen of the weekend of what the Wonder Woman Chichi. Welcome to a segment we call Galaxy Fashion. And joining me in the studio, her name is Petreace Muzerengwa. She's an entrepreneur and a creative artist. She's the owner of a sustainable company called Petreace Designs, which produces high quality designer clothing and accessories for men, women, and children. Hello, Petreace.
Hello, Eve. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I am good.
You sound very subtle. My energy just went from there to like, okay, tone
Oh,
it down a
come
little bit,
on.
Eve. Tone it down a little bit. How are you doing?
I'm good.
Right, so today we're continuing. It's a series you started last week.
Mm-hmm.
We're talking about why fashion is important.
It's important.
Mm.
Yeah. Because you know what? We're always talking about fashion, and probably somebody will be wondering, but why? Why fashion is important? Why is it important? Yakamokoshe ko fashion.
Yes.
And so we're continuing, like you said, from last week. And so, as to start, we're gonna have a little bit of a recap from last week, because last week we talked about other few points, and then we're gonna continue, and hopefully I'll convince someone who doesn't think fashion is important to think, okay, you know what, maybe fashion is really important, and I should consider it in life and really pay attention to it because of these few points. So as a recap, we talked about what we call the halo effect.
Mm-hmm.
And the halo effect is like a cognitive bias that everybody has when they look at someone, whether it's negative or positive. And we said when it comes to fashion, is you can use it to your advantage by tapping into this and making sure that you look in a way that gives you the competitive advantages. Because for example, I was talking about maybe in settings whereby you're looking for a job, or maybe it's a situation, maybe you're trying to convince your potential business partners to do business with you, and the way you present yourself is
Says a lot. Mm-hmm.
So that cognitive bias, that halo effect, is very very important, and you need to pay attention to that, because whether we like it or not, subconsciously we judge yeah, as people. And so use fashion to your advantage, and make sure that it takes you to the next level in life, and don't put it aside, brush it aside, and say haina basa. That's what I'll say. And also the other point, as a recap, is we say that fashion is your personal ambassador. Your fashion, the way you dress, the way you look, from head to toe, is your ambassador. It says a lot, about you. And knowing that, you should make sure that you use fashion to your advantage. It's almost like the halo effect. It's one and the same thing. And so as we continue, there was somebody who said, but ina nabasa nekuti vanhu vanofungei about randakapfeka ndoita zvandoda, and why should I care what people think and what people say. So the issue really is not about what people think and what people are going to say, but it's about using fashion appropriately to your advantage. It's about you. It's about you. So you just know these things and use it to your advantage. And kind of fashion also is nabasa. If I'll ask you a question.
Yeah.
Would you come here?
You're putting me on the spot. Okay, let's have it.
Would you come here per live wakapfeka mapijama une bonnet, because unabasa mtu anofunge
Hey.
per live? Honestly,
Unless they're very expensive ones, then sure.
and would I come ndakapfeka night dress, ndakatosunga pulling socks rangu musoro?
Ooh, that I don't care mentality.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
in as much as we don't really care, to what extent do we have that attitude kokutandi nabasa mtu anofunge? I can just wear whatever I want whenever I want, So that's something I had to say, to put it out there to those who are not wanu. But yeah, at the end of the day, it's not about what people think. It's just about using fashion to your advantage. So as we continue, why fashion yakakosha? The other point is it's good for your mental health. I can give an example. Wakapfeka hembe nyowan Eve, for example.
Mm-hmm.
You're wearing something up new, a nice new dress, and nice new shoes. ka feeling ka unongo feel motivated, you feel ka stress reliever, you feel good. And so so fashion is good for your mental health, because if you're clean, like we talked about, fashion is not just for him, but it's from being your personal hygiene. So if you're clean, from your clothing zakachena, and your skin and your hair, and just looking presentable, it just has that ka dopamine kanoita uthi
The feel good.
yeah, ka feel
Yes.
good, and feel motivated. So it's good. And whenever you feel down, just dress well, look good, and you find good you're halfway. Watufamba watufamba mamaira, like some people would say. So fashion is really good. It's good for your mental health. It's good for you when you're presenting yourself to people, especially on settings whereby you need to take yourself to the next level in terms of business or in your career. And also talking about fashion, why it's important, it's also it acts as something that gives you motivation, like just what we just talked about, your mental health. It gives you that kaka motivation. Once you dress up and you look good in the morning, you feel motivated to go out and work, and you feel motivated to do things. You just feel good. It's almost like sometimes with exercise, when for those people who like exercising, they'll tell you that exercising gives me motivation to do great things. And also with fashion, it kind of give you that extra motivation, like, yeah, I'm gonna do it. So yes, fashion is really important. It's good for your motivation, mental health, and many other things, which I'm gonna add. And also, it's good when it comes to self-love. When it comes to self-love, because people go through different stages in life. They gain weight, they lose weight, they get demotivated by life, broke, or you go through a lot of things, sickness, or your loved ones die, and you don't feel motivated. And sometimes, to some extent, you know fashion kind of helps, with self-love and finding yourself. So when you dress up, you take time to dress up and to look good and to smell good. It kind of gives that ka self-love, ka inner peace and self-love. So when you feel down, just try to look good. It helps, with giving you that extra self-love, and you find yourself good. You start to grow as a person, and you start to improve as you go, because once you tap into loving to look good, you never go back. You just it's always up, 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 and your fashion improve. You find that even after 6 months, you will not recognize yourself. After a year, you won't recognize yourself. You just keep improving. So it's good for when it comes to self-love and growing as as an individual and as a person. And the other thing about the important thing also about fashion is in terms of uniqueness. It gives you a sort of like a unique, noticeable, thing about you, especially maybe in the circles of business or music. I've seen we talked about. I think in the past we talked about what we call like like mutukudzi angane kalook kake kana kanga inako,
Like a signature look.
like
Yeah.
a signature look. Yeah, that's the word. I've forgotten about that word. So it helps you. So it helps you also, especially in in business. And now in social media era, everybody's trying to post something, is trying to be noticed. And so with fashion, and if you create that signature look, you become more noticeable. It becomes like your competitive advantage, and it's easy to be noticeable, and it's easy to keep the clients who remember you. And that's really important. It helps you very, very, in a very good way. And also it also helps with confidence, just like I said, with motivation, and also confidence. When you're dressed well, you're highly likely to be confident, because you're sure of yourself. You're not worried about and people usually don't give you a look. So it helps with confidence. So fashion is really important, and that's why we are always talking about it and reminding each other, because it's a tool. Fashion is a really good tool, and it also act as a privilege. It gives you that extra privilege. There's pretty privilege, and there's different kinds of privileges in life, but also fashion, it acts as that extra on every individual. And if you use fashion to your advantage, it gives you a lot of privileges in life. And who doesn't want privileges? Don't you want privileges, Eve?
Yes, I do. Everybody needs a bit of those.
A bit of those. So you can then use fashion to your advantage, and it can act as a privilege. And is there any question concerning, because I know last week somebody asked the question, so why ndingachenerei kuti ndifadze vanhu here, what about me? So is there any question anybody asking about fashion and why it's important?
Right. This one says, I'm a lady. I wanted to find out what one can wear for a first time interview.
For
Okay.
first time interview, for what kind of job did she indicate?
No.
She didn't indicate.
But I guess we could play around with scenarios. We'll start maybe with an office job for a lady. How is one supposed to dress?
Supposed to dress. Okay. Usually when it comes to interviews, you have to make sure that you look as formal as possible. So, and you have to, so as formal as possible, that means you have to wear a suit if possible, like a pantsuit, or maybe a suit like a jacket and a skirt, or a jacket and a trousers. That's what is called a pantsuit. And dark colors, those are the formal colors. So if it's black or navy, those are the best colors. And you can wear a button down shirt on the inside, like a sky blue, because that's a business color, or a white or a grayish. Those are business colors. And make sure that you wear your perfume, but it doesn't have to be too loud, because this is an interview. You don't want to kuvundutsira one with your smell, but you just need to have that subtle but nice smell. And when it comes to shoes, dark color shoes, I would recommend like black shoes, that shoes and shoes that you're comfortable with. If you're gonna wear some heels, make sure that your heels, you're very comfortable in those heels. You don't want to walk into an interview walking funny because you're wearing nice shoes but they're too high. Wear your comfortable shoes. And when it comes to makeup, it has to be natural makeup, because it doesn't have to be too loud, because this is an interview. And when it comes to hairstyles, the best hairstyle has to be natural colors. Don't go into an interview with like orange, orange or purple or any of those colors. At least natural colors, like maybe like black or a bit of brown. Those natural colors, those are the best for an interview, because you're looking for a job. You don't have to be all out there, because you don't want to remember the halo effect that we talked about. You don't want to give people a bias about you, which is wrong. So just make sure that you're as simple as possible, but classy and nice, and be confident. That's what I was saying if you're going for an interview as a lady.
Is it safe to say that when going for interviews, formal is the way to go?
Yeah, formal is the way to go. Whatever job it's going to be, formal is the way to go, because it's a formal situation. So you need to wear something formal. That is the best thing that you can wear.
Right. So to just wrap it up, we've less than 3 minutes to go.
Less than 3 minutes to go. So to wrap it up, I'll just say, you know what? Fashion, like I said, is a weapon, and you can use it to your advantage, and it can take you to greater heights in terms of your career and in life. So embrace fashion, love fashion, learn about fashion, improve fashion, and love it. And have any attitude of thinking, you know what, fashion ain't a basa, because the more you embrace fashion, you see that people are going to treat you differently, and even in your career or people around you, things just change to a positive, in a more positive way. So why not embrace it and enjoy the privileges of fashion? Those are the parting words I'll give.
All right, and then at some point you'd mention, dress for your body type. Yeah. But
Yeah.
then what if my body doesn't go with certain things? For instance, let's
Mm-hmm.
say something very tight. Is there a
Something.
way of pimping it around? Is there a way of making it look nicer on me? Or kutongoti no tight things on this person?
Well, you can pimp it around. Like maybe if you have a body, you don't need to wear tight things. Then you can wear something, like a loose something on top. For example, you can wear like a kimono, on top of maybe you're wearing a tight dress. Then wear a kimono on top just to hide mabambo, to hide things, odumbo, that kind of thing. So you don't really have to go to a situation whereby you don't entirely wear tight things. You can wear them, but just uh, play around and stylize in a way that you still look good. Put a kimono on top, a jacket or a coat, on top, and then you still look good and feel good and still wearing those things that you love, but hiding those we call them figure folds, but they're not really figure folds, but yeah. Yeah. So
Right. She's all about fashion. Her name is Petreace Muzirengwa. She's a young entrepreneur and a creative artist. She's with us every Wednesday right here on Star FM Morning Galaxy. It's a segment we call Galaxy Fashion. So, Petreace, for those people who would love to get in touch with you, maybe they want to get styled or they want to understand more about
about
fashion, how
fashion.
do they get in touch with you?
They can get in touch with me on my number 071 339 6316, 071 339 6316, or on Facebook at Petreace Muzerengwa. The spelling for Petreace is Petreace. Petreace. Yes, that's where they can find me.
Awesome. Petreace, thank you so much for joining me this morning. Looking forward to having you again next week, Wednesday.
Thank you so much, Eve. Looking forward.
Right.